Over the weekends, we had first penance in our parish. And you all remember what that's like, how terrified the beautiful little children are in the second grade and so well prepared and ready to come to confession for the first time. And I was talking with one of the children, a little girl, and she told me what was on her mind. Then I asked her, I said, do you know what the golden rule is? And she said, yes, I do. I said, what is it? And she nailed it. She told me exactly what. We should treat others the way we would like them to treat us. I said, really? Very good. So we talked a bit more about that. Because she was very smart, she pretty quickly saw where I was going and suggested maybe golden rule should be more a part of her life. Well, it seems to me the golden rule should be part of all of our lives, of course. And the readings today raise up some issues around that. In the reading from Daniel, you have this full-throated confession. Daniel is just confessing all of the stuff of his people. We've not been loyal, we've been treacherous, we've turned away from God, we've messed up, on and on he goes. And he's asking God for mercy. He's proclaiming that God is merciful. And he's expecting and hoping in God's mercy. And it's beautifully presented. And there's another piece, however, that sort of comes around even in the psalm that we were singing together. Lord, don't treat us according to our sins. So again, we're asking God, we may merit some severe judgments, but we're asking you to lighten up on us, to be merciful to us. And then you come to the gospel passage, where Jesus presents to us another dimension of how we should think about our God and how we should expect God to act toward us. And it's very simple. It's actually the golden rule. Stop judging, and you won't be judged. Stop being selfish, and God won't be selfish with you. Be kind, God will be generous. And it goes back and forth. The golden rule, we know it well, but it's hard to put into practice. It's hard to put into practice because, well, it's just so much easier to see other people's faults rather than our own. It's easy to sort of sit and see everybody else. On the other hand, it's a bit harder to take an honest look in the mirror of our own lives. And even then, we're inclined to say, well, I didn't really, do anything big and bad and wrong, which sort of brings up the point that Mother Teresa made once, suggesting that the things that we don't do, more often than not, are the bigger things of concern to our God. And that I find in my own life is so true. What I don't do that I could have done, an act that I could have, a word I could have said, a gesture of kindness, thoughtfulness, but I let it pass. So in this Lenten time, maybe the golden rule, we want to bring it back in for all of us. If we want God's patience towards us, we need to be patient towards each other. If we want the respect of one another, we need to show respect. And on it goes. It's almost like God has sort of laid out this plan for you and for me in our journey with God, that we can't go there alone. We can't do it. We can't say, it's just me and Jesus. I'm okay with Jesus. Everything's fine. Not so. It's got to be me and you and Jesus. It's got to be us and Jesus. He sets it up that way. We've got to all make it together. The only command Jesus gave us is love God with all your heart and love one another as yourself. Links them both together. We're in it together. Now that's good news, and it's a bit of a challenge as well. I help you, you help me. It seems the way that Jesus wants us to go down the path. So this Lenten time, not a time necessarily to beat up on ourselves for the stuff that didn't happen, but maybe a time to practice more intentionally, specifically, lovingly. This simple golden rule. Acts of kindness, acts of generosity. This probably is the greatest of all choices that we can make in our Lenten journey. To get a bit out of our self-centered stuff, just about all me, and to think about how I can practice that beauty of that golden rule with one another. It, of course, is that selflessness and love that Jesus shows us over and again. Most particularly when we gather as a community here in the studio as well as in our homes, and we celebrate the sacred mystery of the unconditional love and mercy of God for us in this Holy Eucharist.